Welcome to the Science of Mental Physics Beginner's Breathwork class. My name is Jody Curtis and I'm a reverend and a teacher of the Science of Mental Physics. Mental physics was brought to the Western world by Dingle, who you see over my shoulder here. His name was Edwin J. Dingle, and he was an Englishman that formed a caravan that went across China into Tibet in the early 1900s, and he ended up in a monastery where they recognized him as a returning lama, by which they began to teach him these ancient secret breathwork techniques and chanting and other spiritual lessons that he would then bring to the West in the form of the Science of Mental Physics. Dingle had a master named Guru Padmasambhava, who was one of his teachers in Asia that taught him all of these ancient practices, a few of which I'm going to be teaching here today. We're going to be learning and practicing the 8 key breaths of the Science of Mental Physics. And to begin, just place your feet on the ground. We're going to just get centered within ourselves and begin by breathing slowly and deeply down into the belly, into the middle chest, all the way up into the throat, and then exhaling with a sigh. And as you're taking these low and slow and deep breaths, just imagine your feet rooting down and your head reaching upward, and yourself just centered and balanced and present inside your own being. Dear God, we give so much thanks for being able to be here together in this way. We give thanks for the technology that makes this possible. We give thanks for feeling ourselves connected by that invisible, indivisible force in the universe, the spirit of all that is that connects us in every way, the breath of life, which is the breath of life which flows through every individual and every living being on the planet. For this and so much more, we give thanks. We give thanks. We give thanks. And now we imagine a great wall of golden light about us. Nothing can penetrate or pierce this light as it holds us protectingly in its own essence. Above us, the higher ones in the great hierarchy of universal wisdom, holding over us that gossamer substance which forms a panoply under which we rest together in the great peace. Within the circle there is wisdom, and below the circle there is love. God is love. Big deep breath in. And exhaling with a sigh. Before we get into the 8 key breaths, we're going to just practice the harmonic or balancing breath. This is alternate nostril breathing in many yoga traditions, and in mental physics, we plug our right nostril and we inhale through the left for the count of 4. Hold for the count of 16. We unplug the right, exhale for 8. Now inhaling for 4. Hold for 16. Unplug the left and exhale for 8. One more cycle, inhale 4. 16. Unplug, exhale for 8. Again, inhaling 4. Hold 16. Unplug the left and exhale for 4. Very good. I'm going to play a video, not a video, an audio. It's a 4-minute audio of Dingle speaking on the first mystery. Just give me 1 second. Okay, so just sit in a meditative position and open your ears.
This is the first part of Dingle May's lesson on the mystery of meditation. It should be heard only by students of the Science of Mentalphysics. I ask that you enter upon your work in a deep devotional attitude of mind. Now, my beloved, all great religions have always claimed to have an inner side revealed as a priceless treasure only to a select few. These mysteries of the inner side of all religions have been wisely and jealously guarded, handed down, usually by word of mouth, for generation after generation. The initiated know that the living truth is embodied in esotericism rather than in exotericism, and to declare that only through esoteric practices can you understand even the outer or exoteric beauties of life itself in what appears to be the outer world. In other words, there is a mystic side to life which reveals its mysteries only through a search and practice of life's inner laws. All religions have made this claim. Christianity is no different. All men are not at the same level of evolution, so that it were useless to intellectually give to them the same religious teaching. That which would help the intellectual man would be entirely unintelligible to the stupid, while that simple intellectual teaching necessary to the young soul would be crude and boring to the philosopher. Now, while this is clear in regard to the intellectual understanding of religion, the great teachers of all ages have declared that there exists one single esoteric secret, which will enable all men, irrespective of what they may know or may not know intellectually, to develop themselves spiritually on the inner side, esoterically, to the highest point, so that in their outer or exoteric life, they may express the highest that they are evolutionarily developed to express. This is the ultimate aim and end of man's existence, finally to express God. Now, though called by many names in different religions, I may say at once that this secret is the actual coming into direct union with God, with the universal intelligence, with the moving wisdom of life, of coming into the heart of love, of coming to realize in the silence one's own divine nature. Now, what is this way? How is it done? Any sincere student in mental physics may be able to learn it and use it. But you must, as deeply as possible, enter that magic realm of the silence where you reach the highest spiritual height that you are capable of reaching. I cannot do it for you. All I can do is to indicate the way. The pilgrim must reach that fixity of mind in which no breeze, however strong, can waft an earthly thought within. Thus purified, the shrine must of all action, sound, or earthly light be void. Even as a butterfly, o'ertaken by the frost, falls lifeless at the threshold, so must all earthly thoughts fall dead before the fane. Now, it is quite common for students to experience difficulty in their early practice. Many report that I am able to meditate. I can get to the point where I seem to lose all the sense of my body, but I am not able to control my mind in the same way. All you have to do, O candidate, is to follow instructions. Do not feel in any way fearful or superstitious. Follow instructions. As your teacher, I emphasize steady, reverent practice. Record.
It's funny, when he was talking, all I could think of is the map is not the territory, meaning he can point the way, I can point the way, any teacher can point the way, but it's up to the student to do the work. And practice is where you'll have a lot of your awakenings, is by practicing the breath work inside your own body. The mental physics breath work works on the endocrine system, which is all the hormones of the body. And so there's the pituitary gland, the pineal gland in the brain. And one of the things that we learn is that there exists in the air a substance that exists in the oxygen, in the air, but it is not the oxygen. It's actually called prana. It's like life force energy. And this energy is available to us. We're swimming in it. It's who we are. It's part of who we are. And we can actually breathe it in and activate and store it up in the cells of our body. We can store it in the brain for use for future, healing of ourselves, healing of others. And also Dingle talks about how practicing this breath work actually will help to activate, secret powers that you didn't know you had. Maybe it can occur in some like psychic abilities or clairsentience, feeling things, knowing things, clairaudience. You can develop these, quote, extrasensory perceptions as you go along in your own spiritual practice. It's like our body is the body is the temple of the living God in mental physics. So in this way, we revere our body, and every single breath of life is a gift to us in every single moment. I mean, without our breath, there is no life. So in mental physics, we give thanks for the breath before each breath, and we realize that this breath is what connects us all. And it also, as I mentioned, activates all kinds of things inside yourself, which you'll come to experience as you go along. To get started with the 8 key breaths, the first one is called the memory developing breath. This one is done sitting. This is the only breath of the 8 key breaths that is done sitting. And it is to activate your memory of why you're here and what your purpose is on the planet. This one is done like the old-fashioned water pumps, where you're pumping the pump over and over again. And then when you let go, the water starts to flow through. So in all of the breaths are a systematic series of individual breath positions and breathing techniques that will activate, sort of cleaning out your body. The memory developing breath will bring up anything that needs to be released, either in the physical body or emotionally, that needs to come up and out of your body, so that then as you go along in this systematic series of the 8 key breaths, you will start to bring in more prana, or this source energy, life force energy, and activate your creativity and your own healing potential in your body. So it's a systematic series of awakening within yourself that we're going to do. And more is not always better. I would exercise caution when doing breath work because it's extremely powerful. Most people aren't in the habit of breathing as deeply as we're going to do when we do these breaths. So I would say, if you're just beginning, start with the first breath and practice that for a week and see how that manifests in your body. Then go on to the next for the next week and work yourself through the breaths slowly. And then you can do them all in a row after that. But take your time. There's no rush. It's a lifelong process of spiritual unfoldment that we're doing. Okay, so for the memory developing breath, your hands will be down on your knees, and there's a few pointers to remember in doing all of the breaths that we'll be practicing. One is called the secret switch, and that is placing the tongue on the roof of your mouth as you're inhaling through the nose. All the breaths in mental physics are done inhaling deeply through the nose, forcing the air down into the belly and then up into the chest. And then I'll say a big sniff at the top. And so you're going to fill your lungs as full as possible with every single breath and hold that breath. And then the exhale looks like this. So it's actually breathing in through the nose all the way deep down. Big sniff. And then it's kind of like a CH sound, and your tongue will flop down a little bit and force that air out. The key is to push all that old stale air out from the bottom of the belly, as we do in different yoga traditions. You want to get all that old stale air out. And when you squeeze the last little bit of air out, then automatically the body process takes over to take in another breath of life. Sometimes you'll hear me say, lock it up, which just means swallow after we practice a breath, and exhale it out. We'll swallow to just sort of solidify that inside of our own body. What else there is, secret switch. And then before each breath, we give thanks for that breath. And the way Dingle taught it is, I give thanks. I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. And then we'll do each of the breaths. So you can say whatever you want. I thank you, God, for the breath of my life. Thank you, universe, whatever resonates with you. The idea is just to take that moment before each breath to give thanks for that which gives us life, for the God source energy that is within us and all around us, giving us life. Okay, the memory developing breath, palms facing downward. After we complete this breath, which is done in 3 sets of 14, and then a final set of 7, it ignites the 49 fires in the body. After we're done with the breath, and I'll be counting, so you don't need to worry about that. You can just follow along. We will turn our palms upward and just sit in the stillness with our eyes closed for the affirmation that comes at the end of each breath. Okay, so we get ready. Our spine is straight, shoulders back and down. Our head and neck is always loose when we're doing the breath work. Feeling centered inside your own body. Take a big deep breath in. Exhale with a sigh. Just getting ready, feeling ourselves strong and tall and centered. Feet are flat on the floor with the heels touching. Pulling that secret switch, placing the tongue on the roof of your mouth. Feeling ourselves together. And now we give thanks for the breath of our life. Thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. All together we exhale. And up. One more. And now relaxing just like the old-fashioned pump, letting all of that energy flow through your body, just noticing what's happening, watching, feeling after. The science of mental physics is a science of feeling. Just observe and feel what is happening inside your body with all of that breath. Might feel tingly or hot or cold, or light or heavy. Just watching. Letting your body relax completely so that that breath can go where it needs to go. And And now we get ready for our second set of 14. As together we exhale and lower our head. And then up. One more. Relaxing right down, watching, observing, feeling. And now 2 more 7s. Together we exhale. And up. One more. Shoulders are back and down, relaxing the body completely, feeling it just coming right down. Your breath returns to normal as you relax completely inside yourself, but your spine is still straight. Your head is thinking upward. And feeling after the breath. And now for our final triumphant 7, as Dingle calls it. Giving it your very best. Together we exhale. Squeezing all the air out. And now up. Last one. Exhaling all the way, completely squeezing the air out. And inhaling a little breath. And slowly releasing. And now we lock it up. We swallow. As we relax completely with our palms facing upward and our eyes closed. As we prepare ourselves for the affirmation of the memory developing breath. And now as I relax completely, I imagine this great light at the top of my head. The top of my head is heavy and relaxed. My forehead is heavy and relaxed. The eyes are relaxed. The muscles of my face are withdrawn. My jaw gently drops, no pressure on the teeth. My arms and hands are very heavy. But oh, how happy I feel. I feel happy all over, particularly in my beautiful face.
My face is bathed in smiles. My whole body is bathed in the blushes of my smiles. I feel a gentle pressure from within outward. And that gentle pressure is taking away all the little lines of care, worry, trouble, fear, anything negative. I feel happy all over. And now I bring that great light down as my chest relaxes, my abdomen falls down, and the light comes down, down, down to the tips of my toes. And now I imagine that great light at the back of my neck. I'm looking down over my beautiful spine. It seems as if I am looking at a wonderful waterfall with the sunshine playing on it. I see a countless number of tiny specks of iridescent light, light, light. And I know my whole body to be full of light. If thine eye be single, the single eye, the inner eye, the creative eye, the spiritual eye, the eye of my imagination, the eye that I am now using. If thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. And I know that every cell in that countless, countless number of cells in my body is a light, a lamp, a torch, bringing to me the light of the divine wisdom within me, the light that is in perfect correspondence with the flame, and the flame that is in perfect correspondence with the fire, the fire that is in the center of centers of centers of centers of my inmost being. The fire of divine love within me, within me. And so feeling heavy and happy and imagining that I'm looking upward to the top of my head, giving thanks, imagining a great golden shower of light going out in every direction. Slowly, I take a little breath and a long, deep, sweeping sigh. Now I take a little breath and a quick sigh. And I relax completely. Very good. Okay, breath number 2 is called the revitalizing breath. And this one, and the breaths from here on out are done standing. This one is very simple. All the breaths have similar positioning, which is heels touching, knees snapped back, and your shoulders are back and down. So everything in your body is tight. Imagine you're just straight and strong like a lightning rod. So you're pulling downward to the ground with your fingertips, pulling downward with your shoulders back and down. Your head and neck is always loose. Everything is snapped back and tight. Okay, so this breath is very simple. It's exhaling everything out preparing your body for the breath, and then just breathing all the way into the belly, chest, throat, big sniff. And then we just hold it. And then I'll give you the cue to release. And then we do the same thing. We stay standing to hear the affirmation. So we get ready for the revitalizing breath. Pulling downward on the fingertips, pulling that secret switch, thinking upward to the top of the head. And now the thought, I give thanks, dear Lord, for the breath of my life. And now all together we exhale. Squeezing all the old air out. And now breathing all the way in, deep into the belly, chest, throat, big sniff. Filling your lung capacity completely as you're pulling downward on the fingertips, keeping that tension in the body. I am the master of my body. I am the master of my body. Now, no dropping of the head or the neck. Together, we exhale. Keeping that tension as you're exhaling your air all the way out. And now we take a little breath and relax completely. Swallow and lock it up. Solidify that breath inside your own body. And another little breath and a quick sigh. And stay standing with your eyes closed for the affirmation. The success of this breath depends entirely upon your ability to relax. Let us relax right down together. And so relaxing completely, coming right down, we think of, we feel for the hidden meaning of these sublimely simple words. I am whole. Nothing is lacking. Nothing can be added. I am whole. I am perfect. Perfect, perfect as the Father within heaven, within me is perfect. I am strong. I am strength. I am powerful, full of power. Every single cell in my entire body is a power plant working for me. I am powerful. I am loving. All the love I need is within me. I am the substance of the universe in action. I am love moving. I am loving. I am harmonious. I am in harmony with the laws of this universe. I am balance, poise, equilibrium. I am harmonious. I am rich. I am rich in the many senses of the word. I am young. I am youth. I am flexible, youthful, vibrant, vivacious youth, fearless youth, achieving youth. I am young. I am happy. I look happy. I feel happy. I am happy. And so, feeling happy upward, giving thanks outward, slowly, I take a little breath and a long, deep, sweeping sigh. I lock it up. I make it my own. So I take another little breath, and a quick sigh. I prepare myself for the third breath called the inspirational breath. So the positioning for the third breath is the same. Buttocks are tight, knees snapped back, shoulders back and down, pulling downward on the fingertips. Head and neck is always loose, and the head is always feeling like it's pulling upward as the feet are rooting downward. The inspirational breath, as you're breathing in, the arms come up very slowly, breathing all the way in. So the culmination of the breath at the top is right here, where the right thumb under the left, and the hands make the form of a triangle. This is the triangle of manifestation. So Dingle taught success to mental physics through the triangle, success to whatever it is you are creating in your life. And then we do backs of the hands together. And the exhale on this breath is done in 4 parts. So in the beginning, it's a little tricky as you're both inhaling and exhaling to keep the rigid position in the body, but that's what you want to work toward. You want to work toward keeping the tension in the body all the way through the inhale, all the way through the exhale. And then when you're done, equally as important is your ability to relax on the other side of that breath. So when all that tension, sometimes my legs get so tight, I'll unlock my knees a little bit just to remind my body, like a little cue for my body to relax. Okay, so here we go for the inspirational breath. First, the position, pulling downward on the fingertips. Heels are always touching. This creates the 7-fold electrical connection with the body, as if you're sitting in the lotus position with your legs crossed. Okay, shoulders back and down, pulling on that secret switch. I can post some more information down below the replay of this video on the secret switch, and if anybody's interested in learning more about that, it just creates an electrical connection inside the body. Okay, first the thought, I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. Now all together we exhale, squeezing it all out. Now inhaling deeply into the belly as you slowly bring your arms up, all the way in, all the way up, big sniff. Right thumb under the left. Success to mental physics, success to you. Backs of the hands together, exhaling in 4 parts. Now take a little breath and let your body relax right down for the affirmation. Feeling after feeling inside of yourself. Remembering that the science of mental physics is a science of feeling, a science of the soul. So in this breath, feeling into the depths of your own being is what will help you gain the greatest benefit of this breath. So and now relaxing entirely, coming right down, relaxing completely. The body is heavy. You are happy. You are relaxed. I thank thee, Lord, for my body. My body, the temple of the living God. The temple of the God that lives within me. My body. The transcendently beautiful, the infinitely intricate, and the most gloriously accurate instrument in this entire universe. I stand in reverence. I stand in adoration. I stand in veneration of the wisdom pent up in the very substance of my being. And I pledge myself I vow that from this moment forward, nothing that I shall eat or drink, nothing that I shall do or say or think shall injure or abuse this temple of the living God, my body. And so, feeling happy upward, looking upward to the top of my head and giving thanks, outward, giving thanks, imagining a great shower of golden light going out in all directions, the secret of the golden flower. I give thanks for my body. So I take a little breath and a long, deep, sweeping sigh. I lock it up, I swallow. So I take another little breath and a quick sigh. And I wake up quietly. Excellent. And now we'll move into the fourth breath, which is called the perfection breath. Early on in the lessons of the initiate group course of mental physics, Dingle has the students create a picture of their idealized self. So it's very important. I mean, since in our imagination we can do anything, everything that is an out picture, everything that ends up in our life is really an out picturing of something that was first in our imagination. So if you want to change your life, you've got to start by changing your thoughts. And as I mentioned, because in our imagination we can do anything, you can create yourself to be, do, or have anything you want in life by first creating it in your imagination, thinking about what you want, and then actually getting a vision of that, feeling as if it already is so. So when you create your vision of your idealized self in your mind, the more detailed you can get, the better it will be. And you'll just watch, the more you can envision this self, like the way that you want to see yourself, the more your life will just unfold into that vision. It can't be otherwise. We're literally creating with God's source energy in every given moment. So our thoughts are creative and very powerful, and it behooves us to use the creative word wisely. The words we speak give rise to the thoughts in our mind, which create our reality. So to begin, just get a simple vision of how you would like for your physical body to look, how you would like to feel inside your body, and try to imagine that as we go through this breath. Okay, so for the perfection breath, the fourth breath, we start in the same positioning. Everything is tight, heels touching, and then we get ready. So we start in this position, and when we are holding our breath, after we breathe in, we're holding our breath, we do 3 swings. So our body becomes like a cross. So swing number 1, swing number 2, swing number 3, and then arms at the sides, exhaling, relaxing right down. And after this breath, if you want to sit down for the affirmation, you can do that, or you can stay standing, whichever you prefer. Okay, so here we go. We get ready. The fourth breath. Heels touching, everything snapped back, shoulders back and down, pulling downward on the fingertips, lifting upward out of the top of the head. Rooted, straight, strong, like a lightning rod. And now position. Pulling that secret switch. And now the thought. I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. Now all together we exhale. Now breathing all the way in, deep into the belly, into the chest, all the way up, big sniff. Holding it, we swing number 1, nice and easy, controlled movements. Swing number 2, swing number 3, keeping that tension in your body. Arms at the sides. We exhale. Squeezing out all that old air, pushing it out. And now we take a little breath and relax right down for the affirmation, either standing or sitting. Almighty and eternal fount of wisdom, grant us knowledge, understanding, and wisdom, that we may speak here words of truth, love, and hope. We ask for light from the higher spheres, and may our guides guard and control our mind and tongue, so that nothing but the truth may here be given, and that the good seed sown may find fertile spots to live and grow, and that those who are now in darkness and obscurity may be brought forth into the radiant sunshine and the joyous glory of the unfoldment of true spiritual goodness. And now relaxing entirely, coming right down, relaxing completely. I now prepare myself to think the greatest thought I ever shall be able to think. Whatever the Creator is, I am in human form, differentiated from all the other life forms in the universe. I am the Creator in human form. The Creator is right here, right in the heart of me, right in the mind of me, right in the being of me, right in the substance of me. Reveal thyself, O Lord of my life, Lord of the eternal, thou that art the same yesterday, today, tomorrow, forever. Come, I wait, I listen, I am still. I watch within me. And now I see the Creator at work within my temple. And I think peace, peace, peace. And now I take a little breath and a long, deep, sweeping sigh. And I lock it up. So I take another little breath and a quick sigh. And I relax right down. Doing so good. Okay, and now we're going to move into the fifth breath, which Dingle calls the first of the electrical breaths. Since in mental physics, we know that we are electromagnetic chemical beings. This is the first electrical breath. Okay, so for the fifth breath, you're going to need some room around you because we're going to be swinging our arms all the way around in circles like this. So in the fifth breath, as we inhale, as we're holding our breath, we'll do 3 swings with our palms facing together like that, facing each other, all the way around as wide as you can go. Swing number 2 and swing number 3. Okay, and then arms at the sides, exhale, just like the rest of the breaths. Okay, and after this breath, you'll stay standing for the affirmation. Here we go, pulling downward on the fingertips, buttocks tight, knees snapped back, heels touching, pulling that secret switch. Making sure your head and neck is always loose, lifting upward out of the top of the head. Once you're in your strong position, then the thought, I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. Now all together we exhale, squeezing all that air out. And now we take in life, light, all the way in, all the way up, big sniff. Fill your lungs all the way and swing number 1. Not too fast. Swing number 2. Swing number 3. Arms at the sides. We exhale. And now we relax the body right down. Relaxing completely. Relaxing the whole body right down, coming right down. Imagining the light coming down, down. Relaxing the whole body. That liquid feeling in the body, as if innumerable streams of living light are coursing downward in your body. As I prepare myself to think about the loveliest thing I have ever known, the loveliest thing I have ever known, there it comes before my mind, that beautiful picture, perhaps from the long ago, perhaps from the far away. But there it stands, perfectly clearly delineated before my mind, as if it happened a moment ago. I thank thee, Lord. I thank thee, law, universal law, for my memory. I thank you, God, that I'm able to bring back from the vault of the past any beautiful thing that is in my memory. No idea of negation of any kind. No thoughts of disease, old age, disappointment, doubt, failure. Nothing shall enter my memory but that which is in unison with all good and my own very highest conception of truth. And now I will that that picture shall be lost again in the absorption of my being. I see my whole conduct. I see the whole conduct of man. And I will that that loveliest thing shall be lost again in the absorption of my being. So I take a little breath and a long, deep, sweeping sigh. I had to cough. I'm going to take a minute to take a drink of water. I have the best students on the face of the planet. Are you sad? Oh. That's a good reminder that when you're doing these breaths, this can definitely activate a lot of different things inside your body, because you're mixing and melding the light inside your body. That's what we're doing with the breath work. I'm going to mute so I can cough one more time. Hold on. Okay. It activates all kinds of stuff. So anything that is not serving you inside your body, any dis-ease, anything that is not at ease in your body, mind, emotions, will be pushed out basically with the light, with the breath, and just let it come up and out. It's so, it's a process of enlightenment, cleaning out the old gunk so that we actually have more room to hold more light, to activate more of our abilities in our physical being and with our mind also. You'll be amazed with practice of these breaths, how you'll recognize a lot of different, I always hesitate what to call them. They're like superpowers. You can activate your own superpowers by doing the breath work. It's that powerful. But if anything comes up and out, just let it be okay. You might feel giddy, you might feel sad, you might, have anger come up and out. Whatever it is, just know that it's all perfect in the divine right process of releasing it to make way for something even better. Okay, breath number 6. This is called the cleansing breath. This one's, again, same position, heels touching, knees snapped back. The only difference with this breath, this one's very similar to the last one, except we're going to be doing the palms facing down, and we're going to be going all the way up and around. And when we get behind us, we're going to touch like this, like a little triangle in the back. So we start this breath by grabbing our left hand. Our left hand sits in our right hand, and we pull down on the elbows, and then we unlock, and then we'll do our swing around and touch 3 times. And then sit or stand for the affirmation at the end of this breath. Actually, standing, I think, is best for this breath. Okay, here we go. Position. And now we get ready. We grab our left hand in our right palm, and we pull down on the elbows, straighten the elbows. This straightens your spine. It does make it a little bit more challenging to get a full breath, but you just do your very best to push it all the way down into the belly first. And fill your lungs to their maximum capacity. So pulling that secret switch, everything is tight. And now the thought. I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. All together we exhale. And now we get ready. We unlock and swing number 1, palms facing down, touching in the back. Swing number 2, touch. Swing number 3, touch. Arms at the sides. We exhale, squeezing it out. Take a little breath and relax right down with your eyes closed for the affirmation. And now, as we relax together, we are in the spirit together, in the spirit of peace. Peace. The success of this breath depends entirely upon your ability to relax. So we're relaxing entirely, coming right down. Relaxing right down to the soles of our feet. And now I imagine a great heat at the base of my spine. I imagine that it's coming up It's coming up. It's coming up my spine. And now I imagine that great light that comes from the flame, that comes from the fire that gives the heat. And I see this light rising up. I imagine a peacock feather of gold in my spine as I see the light coming up and out, up and out. It seems to strike upon the surface of my body, up and out. It seems to go beyond my body. And now I think of the top of my head and I see my whole body full of light. The light of the divine wisdom that is in every living thing. And so seeing my whole body full of light, the light of the divine wisdom that is in every living thing, slowly feeling happy, imagining that I'm looking upward to the top of my head and giving thanks, giving thanks, giving thanks. Imagining again that great golden shower of light going out in all directions. Slowly, tenderly, I take a little breath and a long, deep, sweeping sigh. I lock it up, I swallow as I take a little breath and a quick sigh. And I wake up quietly. Okay, the seventh breath is the grand rejuvenation breath. This one, the position for this one is resting your hands on your hips, again, heels touching, and then pulling forward with your elbows. It's a slightly awkward position. Everything is tight. Your elbows are pulled forward. So I'm going to demonstrate this breath. We're going to breathe all the way in. As we're holding our breath, we're going to drop the head forward and back, forward and back, forward and back. We stand upright, we exhale, squeezing all the air out. When there is not a drop of air left in your body, you bring your body forward and you pull down on the head and back, forward, nice and slow, and back, and then the third time, forward and back, and then inhaling, dropping the hands. Okay, the grand rejuvenation breath. We get ready. Position, pulling the elbows forward, buttocks tight, everything tight. Pulling that secret switch. And now the thought. I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. All together we exhale. And now breathing all the way in, big deep breath, all the way in, all the way up, big sniff. We drop the head forward and back, forward and back, forward and back. We stand upright, we exhale. And we bring the body forward and back, forward
Back. Forward. Back. We inhale, and then we slowly drop the hands. And now I'm entering upon the greatest thought I ever shall be able to think. I am youth. Youth. I'm happy all over. I am youth. And now I remember that picture of my idealized self in my early lessons. I see before me that luxuriant hair and those sparkling eyes, strong arms and hands, that beautiful, beautiful face, completely unlined and happy. And now I come down over that beautiful being. I thank thee, Lord, for the truth of my being. I am youth, glorious, radiant, wondrous, vivacious youth, fearless youth, full of courage, strength, power. I am unconquerable youth. I thought my body wore out and grew old, but now I know as I stand gratefully in the presence. New cells are being made for me. I am being renewed. I sing, I shout, there is no age for me. No decay, no disease. I am free. Free. And now I take a little breath and a long, deep, sweeping sigh. I lock it up, I swallow. Say, take another little breath and a quick sigh. And I wake up younger. Okay. Very good work today. Going to do the 8th and final breath of the 8 key breaths. In mental physics, there's a lot of different breath work, a lot of different breathings. These are the main few that are taught in the first initiate group course, the 8 key breaths. This one is the only one with the feet apart, and this is your own spiritual breath. So feet apart, but same position, pulling the elbows forward. So I'll quickly demonstrate and then we'll do it. So when you're inhaling, when you're retaining your air, you're holding your breath, you'll go to the right and then you'll lift. I don't know if you can see my heels. You'll lift your left heel off the ground as you lean over to the right, and then to the left, do the same thing over to this side, to the right. We go 3 times on each side, to the left, to the right, and to the left, and then we'll just stand center. Okay? Your own spiritual breath. Here we go. Position, pulling the elbows forward, pulling upward on the head, making sure your neck and head is loose. The secret switch and the thought. I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. Now all together we exhale, squeezing it all out. And now we're inhaling deep into the belly, chest, throat, big sniff. We get ready. To the right, to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left. We stand center. We exhale. And then we slowly drop the hands. And now
I'm thinking upward to the top of my head. I'm thinking joy, joy, joy. And now together, we send it out. We embrace all classes. We embrace all in mental physics, wherever they may be. We embrace our city. We embrace our state. And now I watch as I see those great waves of light and joy rolling out of their own nature. I embrace the country. I embrace the whole world. I embrace the whole human race. And now, with the light of the divine wisdom within me, with my love, with my joy, with my life, I embrace every living thing. And now I stand fast, lest the light be too great for me as it returns to me by that mystic fourfold law, that not from the one source, not from the one point from which I sent it, but from all the points. It's coming back, back, nearer, nearer. Now it embraces me, it embosoms me, it overwhelms me, the light of the divine wisdom, that love, that joy, that life that comes to me from every living thing, so that I know my whole body, this wide universe, to be full of light. And now I will charge every cell of my physical body with that light of the divine wisdom, that love, that joy, that life that comes to me from every living thing, as feeling happy upward and giving thanks outward. Slowly, I take a little breath. And a long, deep, sweeping sigh. I lock it up, I swallow, I make it my own. As I take another little breath and a quick sigh. And I wake up quietly. Very good work. We got 2 more minutes. I'm going to do 2 quick things. Knowing that we build into our consciousness that which we declare. Repeat after me in firm and positive tones. I am eternal life. I am eternal love. I am peace, and peace dwells in me. I am truth. I am power. I am wisdom. I am justice. I am that I am. I give thanks for all that ever was. I give thanks for all that is. I give thanks for all that ever will be. I question not the divine love, palms up, wisdom, and justice. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be blissful. And may all beings be happy. Okay, the sevenfold peace chant. Peace. 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 Thank you so much for participating today. And I hope to see you next week.